Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are having a fantastic day. So today's upload is going to be a video about a potential increase in snowstorms in the next several weeks. So if you recall, I uploaded a video several days ago talking about the increasing chances that the models were showing for a cold outbreak. Now, this cold outbreak could be pretty significant, especially given the fact that spring has come relatively early this year, and maybe some fruits, vegetation is already well on its way to development, and this frost could kill or damage some of this. So it's important to know this. And yeah, even a potential for some snows are on the way. So that's definitely what we'll be talking about today. So consider subscribing to this channel if you like weather-related content. I'll do all sorts of goodies about the weather throughout the whole year. So consider doing so. And if you're a returning viewer, it's always good to have you back. Also consider checking out my gardening channel. The link is in the description box below, where I actually made a face reveal. So if you want to see that, you could go ahead. So we're looking right now at the current time, and for the next week, I would say maybe less than a week, half a week, we're going to be seeing some pretty warm temperatures, like extremely warm temperatures. You can see Monday, Tuesday, we get a very nice ridge across the United States, a storm coming in off California, and that's really what's going to be triggering quite a big storm across Tuesday and Wednesday, and this could be even a culprit for some severe weather across the Illinois, Wisconsin area. Because of those warm temperatures, and again, that early season heat could really fire up some of these storms. And after that, we get another system that comes from the north into Canada, and it just has a very defined cold front. We get very warm temperatures out in front of it, but by Thursday things come crashing down, and typically the 540 line, this blue line, is a freezing line. And you can see these things are way on their way into Illinois and Indiana. A little bit of snow across Colorado, the Rockies, so that's already something new. You could see the first storm kind of occurs right there across Maine and the Northeast, but things are going to get much wilder. As we move forward, you can see that the cold conditions prevail across the northern U.S. The southern U.S. will get chillier, not really cold, you'll be fine, but the northern U.S. will really feel a brunt of this. And then we see this impulse from the north come through, and this could be a big storm, and some of the models have been indicating this for a while. You can see a lot of snow across the Dakotas, and this thing just moves out into the Wisconsin, Iowa area, so brings in a reinforcing shot of cold air, which could be actually really, really cold air. And you can see that dissipates, but it really brings in a ton of cold air. And then possibly another snowstorm across the east coast into southeastern Canada. If you're watching from Canada, be wary, the storm could be big. Very far out, probably the track will change. Even this storm in particular may not occur, but definitely something like this is on its way. Something along this fashion, especially since the pattern is becoming more and more likely to occur. So these snowstorms that are coming with this pattern, or are as a result of this pattern, are going to be increasing likelihood as well. We don't catch a break from these storms. You can see cold air is consistent. We see another system push on into the plains, South Dakota, into North Dakota, into Minnesota. Really see a very big storm as well, and that brings another reinforcing shot of cooler air as that pushes on into the northeast with more snow. After that, we may be seeing finally a pattern break, but you can see another storm is starting to gear up. So it looks as if it's going to be very active, very above average precip. Now, snowfall looks to be above average, at least compared to what we've been seeing. You can see some areas seeing well over a foot and a half of snow, especially across the plains, Wisconsin, Michigan. Again, keep in mind this will change regardless of how accurate this model run is. It will change. You just can't have 100% accuracy. Will it change to the point where there will be no snow, warm conditions, 60s instead of what's showing? Probably not. Many weather models are consistent with this. This is the raw data right now that I'm showing you, and you can see that the European is also showing a very similar feature. So wherever you see that blue, that's basically where the 32-degree line lies, and you can see that the first wave is next week, Thursday, Friday. We see a nice impulse that could really send temperatures plummeting across the northeast, but then we see a bigger one dig in, sorry, and this one really brings in this storm. You can see there's a storm right here. This brings in a massive cool shot of air, which could cause some harm to plants, and you can see this sticks around. It's kind of like a lobe that just circulates, and it really just keeps bringing in chillier air. And a European model also brings in quite a bit of chillier air, but maybe not as much snowstorms. But again, it only goes out to 240 hours, while the GFS, which showed 3 or 4 storms, went out to 384 hours. And the European also shows quite a bit of above average precip, except obviously you can't see it on this map, as this is only a geopotential height, not surface, and precipitation, which obviously is where you can see where it's raining and snowing. Let's look at some of the ensembles, like the GEFS. It's more of a, I guess, averaged out forecast, and this is from the GEFS models. So this is the family of the GFS lake models, and up until it's loading, so it's gonna take a little bit of time for that to load. Up until next Wednesday, next Thursday, you know, very warm temperatures. We see a that first cool blast, especially across the northeast and northern United States, coming next week, Friday into Saturday. And you can see after that, it may moderate a little bit, but relatively chillier temperatures stay. GFS ensembles not too willing to put in all that cold air. However, it seems like really the cooler will be dominant. In this case, it doesn't look as if it's as cold as what the European or GFS models are showing by themselves. But if we were to look at the temperature anomalies, they're still well below average, or at least below average, which is going to be relatively a shock since the spring has been much above average throughout. So even if we see slightly below average, that would be a pretty big deal. So I think, and based on the recent model runs, we're most likely to see a pattern that's going to be at least favoring slightly below average temperatures, if not, again, moderately to significantly below average. And of course, this is not loading, but there we go. You can see it finally loaded. Those pink. Purple color showing much above average temperature, much below average. So, you know, frost freezes may be possible, if not likely. Let's look at the European model, the EPS, not the European model ensembles. And this is a little bit higher in atmosphere, 850 HPA, but it represents roughly what's going to be happening at the surface. You can see warm temperatures till Thursday. We get that first blast, and then all hell breaks loose. We see very cold temperatures. So an increase in snowstorms is definitely on its way, increasing cold. Yes, we're heading into spring. We're well on our way into spring. It is April 5th as I'm recording this, but you know, winter does not want to give up, and continues to thrive, if you will, and probably, you know, will maybe above average or below average. That's tough to say. We don't even know whether April will be above or below average as a whole. Right now, again, it seems like this will be short-lived, this cold period. You can see it's mainly out to the 15th, to the first half of the month. But, you know, it could definitely be the case where it stays below average for the whole month. Now, obviously, that wouldn't mean snowstorms, you know, into April 30th, April 31st. We see snowstorms across the central U.S. That would probably be confined to the more northern regions. Some frost and freezes would be likely, but, again, as the average goes up, it will be getting still warmer, but it still may remain below average. We'll have to see. As of right now, the Climate Prediction Center has April as being above average for a good portion of the eastern United States. However, whether or not that will stay true or happen the way they think it will, is really up for, it's a coin toss. I mean, they really thought March would be cooler than average, and it turned out to be warmer. April, they're thinking it'll be warmer. It may turn out to be cooler, and, you know, there will be a cooler phase in the middle of it. But whether or not the beginning will be warm, it has been, and will continue for the next couple of days. The ending may be warm as well. We'll have to see. I'll keep you updated. As of right now, the middle portion looks to be severely below average. So definitely increase in winter weather is on its way, despite it being April. So let's look at the European surface and precipitation map. I earlier showed you the geopotential height, which indicated for us the temperatures. Okay, now let's look at what the precipitation map looks like. So notice the biggest weather activity going on in the next couple of days is this big storm coming in off California. There have been winter storm warnings and winter storm watches issued. Quite a bit of snow. That's good news for the California, Sierra Nevadas. They have not been seeing a lot of snow this past winter, and again, that is good news for them. So the drought kind of came back, if you will, but they're definitely seeing a dent in it with this storm. It's going to be pretty significant. Now, as the storm moves away, we see a potential severe weather outbreak across the Midwest on Tuesday, which we'll have to watch. It doesn't look too awfully powerful, but you can see a cold front could develop right there. So definitely have to monitor that. Notice then that's when the cold air comes in. We have the strong low pressure 986. Not a lot of precip, but it's very strong. Winds are packed, bringing chillier temperatures. And you can see that's a first possible snowstorm across the Northeast. We'll have to monitor that. Some pretty hefty snowfall accumulations across the Northeast possible. That moves through, and then we see a beast of a storm. This thing emerges kind of from a system to the north and south, brings loads of precipitation, heavy rain, and a little bit of snow across the northern elevations. And whether or not a little bit more cold air is available, we could see maybe a nor'easter-like system. So we definitely have to monitor that and see what the exact outcome will be. As of now, again, just the increase in snowstorms is likely, but depending on where they all occur is obviously the kind of the whole point of this, and that's going to be the toughest part. But again, increase in snowstorms, increasing cold, lessened warm temperatures up until next Wednesday, and then possibly a prolonged period of cooler temperatures. So thank you guys so much for watching. Consider liking this video, consider subscribing to this channel. I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.